Welcome again, YouTubers, to my channel. This is Sheldoc's channel. Now in this video we'll be looking at tire. Now specifically we're going to look at about three things. One, uneven wear of tire because of the air pressure that you put inside the tire. Next thing we're going to look at the tire wear in terms of the vehicle front end not being good. So you may have wear on this side, that side, so we're going to look at that. And the next thing we're going to look at is tire pressure, the amount of air that the maximum load in terms of PSI that you should put into the tire, and how that can affect your vehicle if you put so much air into the tire. So stick with me as we go through this video. How to identify that you have a good tire wear. Now that is the front of the tire, front of the vehicle. This is the back. Now with this tire, what you would notice, there is a wear on the side of the tire here. There's a mark where it's as if the tire is running on the side. Now this tire is not wearing properly. The reason it's not wearing properly is because it is a little bit under inflated, and because of the under inflation, the tire would tend to wear on the side of it and not on top of the wall. So this is the wall of the tire, this is the top of the wall of the tire, but this wear is at the side of the wall. So in order for this wear to move to the top, you would have to ensure that the wheel is properly inflated, and you will get a better wear on the tire. So this is the wear presently, and here is where it's supposed to be, on top of the wall. Alright, so hopefully this can help in some way for you to understand how to inflate the tire so that you can have a good wear on the tire. Now in terms of wheel alignment and tire wear, if you look on the edge of the tire, you'll notice that the wear on this side is pretty similar to the wear on this side. So what that tells me is that I have a good tire wear and that I don't have a wheel alignment problem. So if I had a wheel alignment problem, you would notice that one side of the tire, either on this side or on this side, is eating off deeper than the other, and this would cause you to understand now that there is a problem with your tire wear. Going over to the next side, here is the same thing. So the tire wear on this side of the tire and on this side is pretty much the same, and what that tells me also is that the left hand side, standing from the back of the vehicle, this front wheel is wearing properly also. So when it comes to tire wear, if you have one side of the tire eating off and the other side is not eating off, it means that you have a wheel alignment problem. Now there's a little bump in the thread of the tire, and this bump indicates to us that if the tire wear down to this bump, it means that we need to change the tire. So this is just a little indication. Let me see if I can draw it up a little further. Indication to tell us that we need to change the tire whenever the tire, these threads, wear down to the point where it starts to touch this bump. So we need to change the tire when that bump starts to be worn along with the rest of the tire. Alright, so this is the wheel, the back wheel, standing from the back of the vehicle. And for this wheel, we're going to look at the maximum PSI for this wheel. So here we have maximum PSI right there. It is 51 PSI, and what this tells us is that this tire is capable of holding 51 pounds per square inch of air in the tire. Now we don't need to put so much air in the tire because we're just carrying regular load, like regular passenger commute, probably one person with this type of vehicle, so we don't need to put so much air into the tire. A disadvantage of using so much air in the tire or putting so much air is that the tire is going to be tough, extremely tough, give you a very bumpy ride, and the chance of the vehicle damaging the suspension, the back suspension here, because of that bumpy ride, especially if you live in areas where you have a lot of potholes in the road. So the vehicle dropping, the wheel of the vehicle dropping into those potholes is going to create a very, very hard hit to the tire, to the wheel, to the suspension itself, and this is going to damage the parts on the suspension very easily. So when you inflate the tire to about 30 psi or 30 pounds per square inch of air in the tire, the wheel will help to kind of cushion that bounce that you will get when you fall into those potholes, and help to, you know, cushion the amount of damage that is done to the suspension. So for this wheel, back wheel, 51 psi. For the front wheel here, let me just quickly go up to the front wheel, pounds per square inch. See if I can give you a better view. Cannot see that well. So right here we have, for the psi rating of this front wheel is 49 psi, and it's the same thing. You don't really go, you know, don't put so much air into the tire to up to 49 pounds per square inch of air, because as I said, you get a very bumpy ride. You don't want a bumpy ride whenever you're driving a vehicle, especially when you live in pothole riddle areas with the roads. All right, so ensure that you don't put the air pressure to that amount. 30 psi is good enough for these type of tires. All right, so a quick review on the discussion. Too little air inside the tire is going to cause the tire to wear on the wrong side, and when you wear on the wrong side, you're not going to be good for the tire. Next thing is that if you put too much air inside the tire, closer to the maximum psi, 49 psi for the front, for the back, 51 psi, you're going to have too much of a bumpy ride, and nobody likes a bumpy ride. And in addition to that, it's going to cause all of the drops that you get into potholes to be transferred to the suspension, and that can easily damage your suspension, especially when you live in areas where you have frequent potholes in the road. Lastly, we have uneven wear on the tire here and inside because of the front end is not good, or you need wheel alignment for the front end. All right, so those are the things that we have discussed in this video. Your vehicle, your wheel, your responsibility. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Have yourself a nice time.